In today's video, we're going to be discussing the #1 reason to retire as soon as possible. That's the focus of this video. Let's get into it and talk through the details. Now, first off, I have a really quick question for you, which I'd like you to think about as I talk through the details of this video. What do you believe is your most valuable asset? Now, really, spend some time and think about that as I talk through the details of this video. The answer coming in just a couple minutes, but really, what do you believe is your most valuable asset? So, think about that, and we'll come back to it here in just a minute. Now, have you thought about retirement? Now, maybe you're currently retired or you're leading up to retirement and you're getting pretty excited and doing some research on it. Now, if you've spent a considerable amount of time thinking about your retirement, you probably have somewhat of a plan or direction as far as what you'd like to do with your time once you fully retire. If you haven't thought about that, it may be a little bit hard to imagine what you're going to do with your retirement, because if you haven't built the image of your retirement yet, it's kind of hard to visualize or imagine, hey, what am I going to do with myself? Am I going to be bored? What am I going to do with my time? What am I going to do with myself, right? I really enjoy my job. Now, that's a weird statement, right? I think we can all probably agree. Anybody out there saying, I love my job. Do they really love their job, or are they just complacent with their routine and just doing what they feel is the right fit for their time and what they're actually doing right now? Now, that brings me to my next point as well that I want to bring to your attention, which is, are you working right now because you need to, or are you working right now because you feel like you must do that because maybe you're like at an age that you, I don't know, feel like it's not right to retire quite yet, or you're just complacent, things like this. Now, there's not that many people out there that really, really, truly enjoy their job. I mean, seriously, walk around the street and just ask anybody, hey, do you enjoy your job? And most people are like, I hate my job. I want to quit my job. You know what I mean? There's like a very, very small percentage of people that actually do enjoy their job. But to be fair, though, there are some people out there that actually truly do enjoy what they're doing. And that's great. I mean, if that's somebody out there, by all means, that person should keep working then, right? If it brings them happiness and fulfillment. But that is the vast majority of people that don't. They just say, hey, I want to get out of here. I want to go do what I want. I'm just here to make the money. I'm, spending my life doing this job here. I don't love it. I'm not that passionate about it. I've been doing it for 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 years, something like this. I want to get out there and enjoy my life, right? So anyway, now let's bring it all full circle here. Did you think about that question I had at the beginning of the video as far as what do you believe is your most valuable asset? So let's talk through the details. Now, again, I certainly do not want to put words in your mouth. Everybody has their own opinion. That's totally fine. But I think we can all probably agree on this, probably to some degree anyway. Your most valuable asset is something you cannot get back once you spend it, and that is time. Yeah, exactly, okay? Now, maybe you've heard this before as far as people saying, well, you only have so much time, and all these other sayings that people like to say, right? But seriously, think about it. When you were a teenager, okay, let's just all think back to when we were teenagers. What did we do with our time? I'm not sure about you. I certainly can't speak for you. But wasting time was like a common thing, right? As a teenager, what do? Waste a ton of time doing dumb stuff that has no impact whatsoever, right? Even as a 20-something, same old thing, wasting a bunch of time doing a whole lot of nothing, right? And then you start to get into your, late 30s, early 40s, and you're like, hey, this time thing is actually pretty valuable, right? I'm starting to really put a value on my time these days, and there's definitely some things out there I don't want to be doing with my time anymore, right? Because you start to realize and you start to recognize the value of time. Well, then you move into maybe your late 40s, 50s, 60s, and then you realize, hey, this time thing is pretty important, right? Yeah, you start realizing how important time is. Now, another thing I want to point out really quickly, okay? Time is so incredibly valuable. It's one of these things, unfortunately, we spend it and it's gone. I know, it's a sad thing to think about. In fact, to be real with you, I really struggle with the passage of time, okay? Every year that goes by and my birthday comes around, I really struggle around that time, okay? There's not that many people that know that about me except for my wife, but seriously, I have a really hard time around that because it's just like another year gone. What did I do with myself? I always feel like I didn't do anything. I wasted another year doing nothing, okay? It always just really, really bothers me. It takes me a few days to get out of that, and I just really feel bad about it. But this is a reality for a lot of people, that the passage of time is one of these things that we all take for granted, but unfortunately, it's not going to last forever, right? So therefore, we need to really think about this and take this into consideration of your thoughts as far as, If you're doing a job right now that you don't particularly like, and maybe financially you're sitting in a position like, I could do this retirement thing, or you're leading up to it, or you currently are retired. What do you really want to do with your time and your days and things like this, right? This is something you really need to consider. Now, I want to point this out as well. Of course, I don't know your age, and you don't need to stick your age down below in the comment section. Please don't do that. But depending on your age as well, you also got to think as well, how many years of good health do I have left, okay? Now, obviously, we don't know. Maybe you live to be 95 or 100 in great health. That'd be awesome. That'd be really, really nice for a lot of people. But unfortunately, that's not really the case for everybody, right? A lot of people experience health issues, whatever it happens to be. It could be, what's the word I'm thinking of? Orthopedic. There, sorry. I was thinking of arthritis, not arthritis. Sorry. Orthopedic, okay? So it could be orthopedic issues. Maybe it's just hard to be mobile, things like that. I mean, that's a very common thing that a lot of people struggle with, right? But there's all kinds of different health issues that we struggle with. Now, therefore, the more time that goes by, we feel like, how much time do I really have living in this healthy body, doing the things that I enjoy now? I should really not take this time for granted, right? So, in my honest opinion, and a lot of people's opinions, as we move further and further into life, we start to value our time much more than, the teenager who's just blowing time playing video games or something dumb like that. But at the time, as a teenager, that's fun. I mean, seriously, I did the same thing, right? But now, no thanks. I'm good. I don't need to sit and do that stuff. I'd much rather spend my time doing something that I enjoy. Now, another thing I want to point out really quickly as well is, let's just say that you're currently, working a job and you wake up every morning and think, Monday, 5 more days of this crap until I can go and spend my 2 days for myself, right? Here's the thing. You might wake up every day and think, I'm going to spend another 8 hours of my life giving it to the man for a couple $100. Is that really worth it? Again, you got to figure out what is best for you in your situation. And maybe you're in a situation financially where you think, I have to do this. I must do this. And that's fine. If you must do this for a few more years, then by all means do it. If it's going to make your life better at some point in the future, by all means do that. But if you're in a situation that you wake up and say, a Tuesday, this sucks, and I don't need to do this, but I want the money, and I'm going to give 8 hours of my life today to the man, is that really worth it? I'm not sure about you, but I would say, dude, you got to get out of there. You got to wrap that thing up and enjoy your life. Seriously, you know what I mean? You have this time. You only get this time. Once the time is gone, once you give that 8 hours to the man, unfortunately, the man has that 8 hours of your life. That's seriously, it's sad to think of it that way, right? So it's something we need to start thinking about, okay? So whether you're currently retired or somebody leading into retirement, take all this into consideration. And again, I don't want to sit here and influence anybody. That is not my job. That is not what I'm here to do. I want you to think about different things. A lot of times, it's easy to just pass years by and be like, well, it's just a couple years. You know what? It's maybe a couple years of your life that were the prime of your life. Maybe it was a couple years of your life that you didn't get to spend with your spouse or your kids or your grandkids. Think of that. I mean, seriously, that's sad to think about, right? I'm not sure about you, but I certainly want to spend time with the people that I enjoy and love and care about versus being out giving time to the man, right? I never want to do that, right? So anyway, think about all these different things, but this is the number one reason. And again, it all comes down to time. This is my opinion. Who cares? Maybe your opinion is totally different and you say, hey, I love what I'm doing, and my motivations for retirement are not my time. I don't value my time as much. That's okay. Maybe you don't value your time as much. That's totally fine. But in my opinion, and I think a lot of our opinions, a lot of people out there, the further on in life that we get, we start to value our time a whole lot more, okay? Let's just leave it at that, right? I think we'd all probably agree to some point. You get to kind of that critical mass where you start thinking, oh, you know what I'm about to say. The clock is a-ticking here, and I'm not sure how long this sucker's going to go, right? So at that point, think about all that. It may be a motivational factor to think about, hey, this retirement thing sounds pretty good, and I want to get out there and spend my time doing what I love. It could be something super simple. It does not matter. It's all about what you love. It could be sitting around and knitting blankets and scarves. It could be drinking coffee and reading the newspaper. It could be catching coffee and catching up with friends, sitting around and just drinking coffee and, talking with friends. It could be going for a walk with your dog, petting your cat. It could be cooking, cleaning. I don't know, whatever you enjoy. Everybody's interests are very different. But you got to think about, hey, what gets you excited? I mean, what do you enjoy doing? Here's an easy way to figure out what you really enjoy and are passionate. Because sometimes, believe it or not, I do this myself as well. Sometimes I think about, what do I even care about? What am I passionate about? Sometimes I don't even know, right? That's scary to sit here and think, I've been living with myself for all these years and I don't even know what I care about. I mean, seriously, I go through that a lot. But here's one easy way to do it. Think about how you spend your time when you don't have any other obligations going on. What do you do with your time? How do you spend that time? What do you like to talk about and think about? If you watch TV or maybe watch YouTube videos like this one, right? If you watch TV or YouTube videos or you read books, what do you like to read about, watch about, listen about? What do you like to learn about, right? Another thing as well, where do you spend your money? We spend our money on things that are important to us, right? If somebody says, let's just say that, for example, you have no interest in, I don't know, artwork, okay? Artwork, just think of it that way, okay? And somebody comes to you and says, I have this beautiful painting. Would you like to buy it for $1,000? And artwork is not your thing? You're going to say, no, no thanks. I'm not going to spend $1,000 on that. No way. But let's just say that you are an art connoisseur. You are very versed in art, you know everything about art, you know everything about it. And somebody comes to you with a Picasso and says, I have this original Picasso. Would you like to buy it for $1,000? You'd be all over that, right? You'd be drooling. Please, let me give you $1,000 right now. Cash. Can I give you two even just to secure the deal? You know what I mean? I mean, seriously, this is what it comes down to, is that you spend money where you're passionate. You spend money where you're interested. You spend money on things that you are that are valuable to you, okay? So this is an easy way to think about it, okay? So just figure out, what do you enjoy doing with your time? What do you like learning about, hearing about, talking about? Where do you spend your money? This is an easy way to figure out some of your passions and your interest in life, okay? And again, you don't need to do this. You probably already know what those are, but this is just an easy way to figure that out. So anyway, it all comes down to time. With that being said, I'm going to wrap this up because here's the thing. I want to be respectful of your time, but I wanted to come back and share some of these thoughts with you here in this video. And I'm going to get out of here because, again, I want to be respectful of your time. I want to give you the details here in these short videos as fast as I can, but talk through some of these details as well. And I hope this gets you thinking a little bit. And hopefully, if you're somebody that's currently working right now, hopefully you can tell the man, hey, yo, man, shove it. I'm out of here. Or in a nicer way than that, I would suggest doing. But don't always follow what I say. I'm just saying, okay? But seriously, hopefully you can grab that time back and do what you love. Maybe you can, go fishing or something. I don't know. That's always a fun thing, right? If you're on the fish anyway, it's fun. So anyway, hope this helps you. As always, please subscribe down below. Share this video with your friends. Send me social media. There's a subscribe and a share button right down below the video. Otherwise, go back and check out any of the other thousands of videos here on the channel, including those that I've hand selected for you down below in the description or the top of the comment section, or the ones that you see on your screen now. Check out those videos. And until next time, enjoy your day. Have a good one, and I'll catch you again later.